Hello and welcome to Retrotainment Recast. My name is Carl Sherlock. We're here with the usual gang. It's Ted and Greg. I still call shenanigans on my last loss.
It was a
I
rough one. It
don't.
was a rough one. Yeah, to be
It
fair.
was a
I
rough
did.
one.
I did say at the end of it though. I took it with a pinch of salt, but I was taking the W anyway. I wasn't going to leave it with you.
Oh no, of course, of course. I do the same. But I lost the last one, which was Scream. Hope you all enjoyed that one. And today I chose for the two lads to watch The Princess Bride, one of my all-time favorites.
It was
And
always going to be this and Ferris Bueller that you picked, wasn't it?
it definitely was, and we've gone through the two of them now. This 1987 classic. And so
Still shy.
while we're
No, it's a true rom-com in itself.
definitely. So before we get into it, lads, if you want to take your pictures and send it into the group,
Send that in now.
just so we know there's no cheating. And we definitely know this time
And-
we have the same 9 characters.
Yes, we've made sure of this time. Made sure of it. Yeah. Same 9, yes.
Um,
To be fair, it could have changed the pick, but you still picked off a point out of it.
that's true.
So
it's true.
It was good going for you for the 5 minutes that the difference.
Yeah, you lost one. It was, to be fair, it was a very quick turnaround for you. I don't think I would have managed it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
coincidentally picking the same person as well was
Yeah.
funny.
Kept it level, I suppose, as if we just removed that character in a way.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Essentially, yeah.
Anyway, to start off, I'm going to start off with one of the duo in it. So we'll start off with Valerie, originally played by Carl Kane. And as we have our reigning champion, Greg, why don't you start us off here?
Ironically, this Valerie and obviously
Miracle
Miracle
Max.
Max were played by characters a lot younger, so they could
Yes.
theoretically be picked by themselves again.
I thought of that myself. I did
Mm.
think
I
of
did,
that myself.
like you can see on the list there that I sent you. I have obviously Billy Crystal and Carol Kane in it,
Yeah.
but I figured we won't do that because it'll be kind of that fallback that we've had in a few ones where you pick someone that's in the movie. Now,
Yeah,
ideally,
you're setting
Billy
a premise
Crystal,
then.
yeah,
You know, you're setting a premise
Ideally-
then as well.
ideally Billy Crystal probably could be cast in that role now because Billy Crystal's Billy Crystal.
Exactly.
But for Valerie, I went with Amy Fowler.
Amy Fowler.
Amy Fowler.
Oh, Amy Poehler.
Amy Fowler.
Yeah.
I think I was
Sorry,
like,
yeah.
who the fuck is Amy Fowler?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I like Amy Fowler.
Yeah, I do like how.
kind of funny.
Amy
She could
Fowler.
fit that role.
Yeah, no.
It's
Definitely, I can
it's
see
kind
that,
of a quirky role. Yeah, this was. I was the same. I was looking at this and I was like, you could go either way because they took young actors and actresses for this and just made them
Yes.
old. So I was like, you can kind of go anyway. So when I was first watching it, I didn't look up the ages of the people who played them, and I was like, Meryl Streep, Helen Mirren. I was like, they're a bit big to be taking a small role like that. So I kind of
True.
thought of someone who would take a small role, but I think would also do it quite well in Helen Bonham Carter. I think she'd play that kind of wacky role very well as well.
Okay.
Good shout, yeah.
Mm.
My choice here, I went with someone who would, be dressed up in the makeup and all that type of stuff. I went with Ellie Camper.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, the one from The Office, and
Yeah, the redhead from The Office. Yeah,
um,
who takes over the receptionist job.
Yeah.
I think she's that quirky to take this role.
Yeah.
You know, I
and it's
can
a
see-
small role she'd take as well. Yeah.
she's not
Exactly.
really
Yeah.
a big actress either, really though, is she?
Exactly. She's not, but I mean, she's going to be in the new Home Alone film.
Yeah.
We won't talk about that.
So
we didn't recast that, so it's
True.
We can't.
Yeah. No, that's it.
This is true.
It's a good shout as well.
It's a
to be
good one
fair.
though. She is very funny in The Office.
Yeah.
She is. I love her. I love her in The Office. She's one of the better things in the later seasons of that.
Yeah.
This one though, do you have any arguments against each other?
No, I'd cast Lena Bonham Carter in many of those kind of roles as well.
Yeah, it's hard to judge. The only thing with I've only seen Amy Poehler in Parks and Recs, really, and she's more,
Yeah.
you know, the upbeat, funny character. But she's upbeat in this as well. Like, you know, she's like, "Come on, it's for true love." Yeah, so she does kind of. There's not really much argument against either, is there?
There's not really.
Like, I could say one about one, but then Greg
The
could
only-
kind of say the
the
same
only-
about mine as well. So
The only thing is, would Helena Bonham Carter take that small of a role?
yeah, she'd take any role, really, wouldn't she? She's
She
taken
would.
small roles in loads of stuff.
I prefer Helena Bonham Carter as an actress over Amy Poehler, and I've seen Amy Poehler in. I actually haven't seen Parks and Rec, so I'm not judging her from that whatsoever.
Neither have I.
Oh, really? She's really good in that.
I've seen a couple episodes here and there, but I've seen
I
her.
haven't seen
I've
it.
seen her in some movies. I'm gonna have to go with Amy Poehler.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I did not think that's where that was going. I prefer
That
Helen
definitely
Bonham
was not
Carter,
where that was going.
but I'll pick Amy Poehler. I was like, whoa, really thought it was going the other way.
Yeah, sorry
Taking a page out of
about
my
that
book
one there. So we'll move straight on and go to Miracle Max as well. Billy Crystal's Miracle Max. What way did you go, Ted?
This time I just went, I'll pick an old actor, somebody I'd like to see in this who has kind of stepped away from the limelight a bit.
Definitely
so he
Bill
would
Murray.
take. It is Bill Murray. Yeah, it is Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
he'd-
Okay.
My
You know
backup
what?
would have been Jack Nicholson, but I was like, I don't know if Jack Nicholson would want to take this role. But I was like, Bill Murray
I
would be
couldn't see
all
Jack
over.
doing
Yeah.
that.
I was like, Bill Murray.
Jack's retired.
Yeah,
Jack
I
is
was like,
well retired.
I was like, Bill would be all over this role. Just go in, act a bit mental for a little bit, and go home. He'd be loving it.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that.
Ironically, when I was looking at it, when we were talking about having the granddad and the grandson in it, Bill Murray was my thought for the granddad.
I probably would have thought him there as well if it wasn't for the fact that we said we won't do the
True.
granddad.
Yeah.
I didn't go that old, but in your thinking for Ellie, I do have an Office character in it. I went with Steve Carell
Oh.
because the man
Oh, I
is
really like
a
that.
genius. The
Yeah,
man is a genius.
I don't know. Would he take that smaller role anymore though? He's kind of moved on from the smaller roles, hasn't he?
Not really. His last two movies, he's only in for a few minutes.
Oh, is he?
The last two that I've seen
Yeah.
him in, he's only been in for a few minutes. I think the last big one he took was the Foxcatcher or Fox something.
He did. No, he did one that he was with PTSD and he was playing with his toys. I can't remember the name of it.
I've seen him. He does a lot of random cameos and things. Like you wouldn't have thought Billy Crystal would have taken Miracle Max.
That's true. That is true.
Possibly, yeah, true.
I did go with a Bill, along with Billy Crystal and Bill Murray, but I went with Bill Hader for this role.
I had him in mind, but I just thought, I don't know, he might be a bit too tall and whatnot to it. There's nothing to say Miracle Max couldn't be.
Again, he's quirky. I was just thinking of quirkiness really for it.
Yeah, he would work. I was gonna say, is he that quirky? But yeah, he is really, isn't he? He is that quirky.
Yeah.
Rainn
He's
Wilson.
Yeah, no, he is that quirky. To be fair, yeah.
He definitely is that quirky. It's always hard to vote against Bill Murray because Bill Murray is Bill Murray.
I think Bill Murray would be all over this. I think he'd nail that role. Like,
both would. Honestly, both would.
Yeah.
And maybe it's recency bias because I've only just watched The Office. I've gone through The Office recently.
I only rewatched it there back in April.
I only watched it there recently about sometime this year as well. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go with Steve Carell here as well.
fair enough.
Thank you, boss man. I did not
Okay.
expect to pick the two of them off.
No, I thought I nailed it with Helen Bonham Carter.
Yeah, when I
to be
heard
honest.
you say
fairness,
that, I was like, oh no.
In
Yeah.
fairness, four picks and all four have been like fantastic.
Yeah,
You know, I could have gone either way on either of them. Really,
yeah,
it's just difficult ones to choose from.
yeah. No, they were like these were kind of, I think, two of the harder ones really, because you could go
Yeah.
any age.
And they're so small as well.
Yeah, it's such a small part as well. Yeah.
True. Speaking of smaller, on the smaller parts, Vizzini, originally played by Wallace Shawn.
Can we pass him again? Because he's perfect.
He is perfect. He is. What way did you go, chap?
Right. So I originally had one name down, and I had Jack Black. You know, because Jack Black is Jack Black. I turned against it, and I went for Will Arnett.
Okay.
Because he's easily the most annoying person you can see when he gets into one of those spiels. Like when you watch him in the likes of Blades of Glory and whatnot.
Yeah, no, we're Will Arnett's good.
Yeah, I kind of struggled, but I kind of went. It was between those two, and it was a last minute decision when I left the screen before we started recording to get a pen. I scratched out Jack Black.
Right. Okay. What way did you go, Ted?
So Vizzini is like, he's meant to be the kind of the brains of the operation, right? But he's also kind of a small, like physically small character. So first my head was Danny DeVito, and I was like, hang on, I think Danny DeVito is actually older than Wallace Shawn. I think he might be older. So I was like, that's probably not a good idea. I'll stick away from Danny DeVito. The next one I was thinking was Peter Dinklage. I was like, he could do this role quite well. So that's who I did
Very
have.
well.
And then it just kind of came to me. I was like, do you know who'd be good for this? Seth Green. I think Seth Green would do the. I think Peter Dinklage might be too big now to take a role where he kind of goes out that quickly anymore. And he always kind of said that he did try to steer away from those
small people ones.
Yeah, the ones where it's just like, oh, your main thing is kind of that you're, you know, comically misplaced against this big guy. So he kind of stayed away from them. So I was like, Seth Green would take that though.
1.6.
Yeah, it's a good choice. I had two options for this one myself.
Mm-hmm.
The first option I had there, I gender bended it.
Okay.
I went
It's not your one from Scrubs, is it?
Kate
someone from
McCucci.
Office.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Ted's girlfriend.
Ted's girlfriend in Scrubs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see her doing that fantastically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is just Wallace Shawn, female.
She's just very odd. She's very odd. And then the other person I had there was Jim Parsons.
Oh.
Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
I don't know about that one.
You know, basically, he, you know, Wallace Shawn plays the person that young Sheldon looks up to. You know,
I know that. Yeah. I didn't watch it now. My dad watches it, but I watched a few episodes. But
the only thing I would think about Kate McCucci is that this is the character that gets killed, and I'd be like, would they kill her? Would they have her be the one that gets killed?
And it's technically suicide.
Well, you know, she's tricked.
With her, yeah, because she can play that off.
No, she could. I don't know if they'd be like the only character out of that trio that we kill is the female. They might not go with that. The only thing I have against Greg's one of Will Arnett is he's 6'2" or something. Like he's a tall guy, isn't he? Is Will Arnett not quite tall?
I think he's tall enough.
Which kind of I know that's not the main part of the role, but I think that works. You know, having the small guy boss the bigger guy and then the even bigger guy around. I think that is part of the comedy of it.
It's true. Honestly, just with those picks, I do like Will Arnett, but if you went with Dinklage or Seth Green there, you were getting the point on that one there, Ted.
Yeah.
I actually do really like Seth Green for that role.
Yeah, I was going with Dinklage because I was thinking, you know, the smart, you know, clever. Oh, you're trying to trick me. But I'm going to trick you. But then you trick me. But then I trick you. I was like, that's Dinklage in Game of Thrones. But I was like, he's too big for that role now. Then Seth Green came in, and I was like, bang, that's it, done.
Fair.
Perfect. So 2-1, and we move on to let's go with Prince Humperdinck. Originally played by Chris Sarandon.
Yeah, this one I struggled with because I was kind of like, who the hell would go into this role? You know, kind of trying to outsmart people, but you know, also very cowardly in in the role as well. I ended up with going I don't really like my choice for this, I don't think, but Thomas Brody Sangster, I think is how you pronounce his name, from
Who?
Maze Runner. He was also in Game of Thrones. He was Tommen
Oh, yeah.
in Game of Thrones.
I see him there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if this one.
What's his name? Sorry.
Thomas
Thomas
Brody
Brody
Sangster.
Sangster.
He's in Maze Runner. He's in Queen's Gambit and stuff. So he's a pretty big. Yeah, he's got a pretty good name behind him now. I just kind of feel he could play that role of he's a bit of a weasel as well, but he can be confident in himself. The other way at the start, he's quite confident. I could track anyone down, and he's making all these promises. I feel that he has the kind of. I think he could come across that way, but then when it comes down to an actual fight, he's just a coward. Like I feel he could do that quite well because he's quite a small character. Like he's quite thin himself, so you could see him being a bit of a weasel and trying to work his way out of everything like that.
Yes, I know Thomas Brody Sangster. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. The kid from Love Actually.
That is definitely not where I'd know him from, but yeah. Okay.
Ted's favorite movie. Fact.
Yeah.
I love Love Actually.
I
actually
don't know if I've ever seen it.
Well, we know what Christmas one we're doing for this. What about yourself, Greg?
Not Love Actually. We just have to let Carl win for the month of December.
No. I won't be bullied into that.
I went a bit more stern and over the top. I went with Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
You could see him being a prince really more. Well, anyone can be a prince, really.
I don't know if I can see him being cowardly, though. He's quite a big, intimidating looking guy. I don't know if I can see him being like the guy who's like barely able to move, being able to back him down so easily.
Well, Sarandon isn't small in this. He just cowards down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the man can barely stand. Like, he knows he had him basically dead to rights. I don't know if I can see Henry Cavill cowering down that easily.
I'd love to see Henry Cavill cowering down. He's a dickhead.
I don't know that he is a dickhead, though. Everything I've heard, he's quite a nice guy, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've only heard good things.
Yeah. Especially the fact that he goes to On the Groove and Bray every year.
Does he?
Probably shouldn't be saying that.
I'm gonna hang around there to meet him.
Yeah. I know a few people that met him at On the Groove a couple of years ago. He's just randomly there, like.
Legend.
But I like his acting and the way I reckon he could do it.
I like him as an actor. I just don't know if I'd buy him being so timid when it comes to things like that.
I'd say he definitely could. And he's supposed to be a bit older as well than he was age-wise when the movie was made. He was a bit older.
My choice for this role was Kit Harington.
Thought about it.
Yeah, could be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also thought of Charlie Hunnam.
I felt I was going a bit too Game of Thrones heavy. Even if I didn't pick him, I was like Peter Dinklage. I was like, maybe I'm going a little bit too heavy on the Game of Thrones to go Kit Harington as well.
We're all in Game of Thrones here.
True. We're all leveled up. It's 2-2.
Oh, yes.
2-2. Gonna have to go to Thomas Brody Sangster.
Yes. That's one I wasn't confident on, to be either. That was kind of the last one I got, and I was just like, I'll just put him there.
Yeah, it's more your argument, honestly, with the timidness and all that type of stuff kind of swayed me on that one.
I don't know if Henry Cavill I don't know if I'd buy him backing down that easily after seeing him as Superman and as
he was shy, the Superman. Well, the movie was shy.
The Witcher.
The Witcher as well, yeah. I don't know if I could see him backing down after seeing him in those.
I watched one episode.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Oh, Witcher's very good. You should get on that, Greg.
Tried it. Didn't like it.
Nah, the first episode's not great. It gets way better. You should really get on it.
I'm gonna jump in here to one of the main characters. I'm gonna jump in with Fezzik. Andre the Giant.
The small man.
Yeah, the small man.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah,
big man do big man things.
What about you? How'd you go here there, Greg?
I went back to Game of Thrones here, and I went between the Mountain and the Hound, and I went with Rory McCann.
Hound,
Rory McCann.
He's a monster.
I think the Hound doesn't really do a whole lot of like even in Game of Thrones he's quite big.
Yeah.
But
It's
I don't know
tall,
I don't know if he does any sort of acting other than just being big and intimidating.
Yeah, I think he's just a bodybuilder, really, isn't he?
Mainly, I don't. Yeah, and I had him down as a backup as well, and I was like, I don't know if he could play the soft side that Andre plays in this film. Do you know, like I don't know if he'd be able to be the lovable big man either.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had him as a backup as well.
Yeah, I went with Rory McCann anyway.
Yeah, that's a
like Rory McCann. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yarp.
If he didn't say it in the movie, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, as I said, I had the Mountain as a backup. I also had I went for another backup. I was like, would you go Big Show? Just because
I had him as a backup myself.
I said, don't go Big Show. I'll put him down and then I'll decide from there. And I went with someone who would be very good for the comedy part of this role, but also has the size in Greg Davies, who we've seen act in. He's the principal in.
Oh, him.
In Inbetweeners. Yeah,
No.
Do you not like it? I think he's quite good.
I don't like him at all.
No,
really,
he's not funny at all.
I haven't seen one thing that I laugh at.
He does be on Q&I as well, or something, doesn't he?
I think he's quite funny. I like him on Taskmaster and stuff. I think he's very good for that role. But like he's just a big guy who can do the.
He is a big guy, yeah.
He's a big guy. He did Inbetweeners. There's a bit more acting in this role than I think Big Show would be capable of. And
Big Show was pretty decent in that.
He had his own TV show on Netflix.
Big Hit or something, wasn't it? Next Big Hit or something.
No, it was called The Big Show.
Yeah, did you just watch it?
No.
I watched an episode or two. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, and it really moves you away from the idea of Big Show being the actor, doesn't it?
What was the other one? What was the WWE one he was in?
He wasn't good in that either.
Chaperone, was it? No, that was Triple H.
That's Triple H. He was bad in that as well. So yeah, no, I thought Greg Davies worked. I thought in the Inbetweeners he can be the big intimidating guy, but he's also a bit of a, he's a bit of a joke in that as well.
The only thing is, could you theoretically say at the minute Carrie Ewell jumping on his back, going to choke him out and being high off the ground? Probably not.
Yeah, well, the man's 6'8" or something, so I can see.
He is a giant.
He's not huge. He's not big.
Yes, he is. He's Greg. He's a big old boy. Like he's a big old boy.
He is. He's a big hoss. Well, my choice was Rory McCann for this role as well. I did have the Big Show as a backup.
Everyone did. It was the easiest one to put in.
It was an easy choice.
Kane.
Greg Calloway or something.
Kane could have been a good one.
Of those two, either which way, I don't just go by if I've picked it already, I'm going to pick it again. But I think Rory McCann would be a better choice here.
He might be, yeah. I kind of just strayed away from him a little bit because I'd used him before, and I thought Greg Davies as like big hoss.
Yeah,
mainly does comedy, like that's his stick. Whether you use like his style of comedy or not, like that's is what he is. He's a comedian, so I was like he'd work very well in the role.
Do you know who else I had in mind before we watched it last night and remembered that he had speaking lines in it? I had Eddie Jones on it, or Eddie Hall. The world's strongest man.
Yeah.
No.
Just when I thought he was just there, there was that one scene that all I could remember. I forgot that he talked. As soon as he started speaking, I was like, yeah, no. Absolutely not. Sorry, Eddie. Not tonight.
3-2.
So 3-2. 3-2. This is a tight one, lads. Yeah. It is a tight one with 4 to go. Now we move on to the last villain of the group. We'll go on to Count Rugen, played by Christopher Guest originally.
Yes. Okay. So this one was kind of tough. Because it is the main, for me, this is the main bad guy. I know Humperdinck is meant to be the main bad guy, but this is kind of the main bad guy. So my backup,
well, of course, he's fighting Indigo.
Yeah, my backup, I went with Colin Farrell, who I had as my choice for quite a while. I thought he could do this.
I love Colin Farrell and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he could do it quite well. But then I went, I don't know if I have enough big names in this just yet. I think he might need a big name to sell this. So I went with Leonardo DiCaprio, who I think would do the role very well. And since it does have quite a bit of screen time, I can still see him taking it. There's kind of the cowardly bit of him, you know, running away when when he gets faced up with his
They're so funny, them scenes.
his
Fezzik,
eventual maker.
Fezzik, I need you.
Yeah, the bit where he's running away and he's running down the stairs, like you can just, and you know, pulling out the little knife and everything. I was just like, when I thought of Leo, it's like Leo could do that perfectly. Like the cowardly.
Leo can do it. Leo can do anything really.
I was like cowardly up until the point where he's like, I've got him.
I watched that man do a cystic fibrosis scene in in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Oh, the Quaaludes, was it?
Yeah. They don't work. They don't work. Oh no! How did I get home last night? I had 2 on mine. My backup was Jesse Eisenberg, or Eisenberg, or however you say.
Okay, I'm glad you didn't go with there.
Yeah. No, I did go. He's more of a comedy actor, but he can do kind of bits of everything. I went with Simon Pegg.
Right.
Obviously, Shaun of the Dead and things. Mission Impossible shows you can do the serious side as well. I thought he'd fit in there nicely.
Okay. I went for this role. I went with Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zod from Man of Steel, if you haven't. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's the intimidating thing. We know he can do action kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's a good foil for a good guy.
Yeah. And he's kind of, you know, he can play the kind of coward as well in a sense. You know, like I'll just run away. Yeah.
Exactly. He can do anything.
Yeah.
I'm not too keen on either of those. I'm not, just to be completely honest.
Pick mine. Dibs.
But I'll have to go with Leo for that one.
Yeah. Like it's just his acting ability. His acting ability is just so high.
Yeah, I can't see. I can't see Simon Pegg in that role at all, really.
I could have now, mind you, but
don't know if I can see Simon Pegg
being judge.
Don't know if I can see Simon Pegg being a villain. I can see him in action scenes. I don't know if I see him as a villain though.
Yeah. He's too nice of a guy.
I think he's too likable. I'd see him and be like,
actually,
right. Like,
come to think of it, I don't know if I've ever seen him in a villain role.
That's what I was thinking.
I think he could definitely do it.
I don't know. I think he's too nice.
But sure, we're down to 3.
We are down to 3. We're down to 3. And we're going to go for the no draws. This is the first time in a while.
First time in a while.
Yeah. We're going to go with the damsel in distress. We have Princess Buttercup, originally played by Robin Wright.
Yeah.
What way are you going, Greg?
Right, I had 2 on my list here. Right.
Same here.
Okay.
I had Sophie Turner as the backup.
Okay.
It's very Game of Thrones heavy here.
Very Game of Thrones. Jesus.
I couldn't go with it because apparently the remake has started shooting and she is now going to be Buttercup.
Wait,
I didn't know
there's a remake.
I didn't know.
Yeah, apparently haven't looked it up. I seen there's a remake coming.
Didn't even know that. Didn't even know that.
So I changed it around. Yeah, she's cast.
No, I don't want that remake.
So is Joe Jonas.
I don't want this remake.
No,
I don't want this remake.
Have a look, Carl. Look in all of your sadness.
No, I don't want that remade. Just leave it the way it was. Leave it where it was.
You can see by Carl's screen lighting up. Look at the disgust.
He's not a happy man.
Sorry to break it to you, pal.
It's not a real remake. It's not a real remake.
Oh,
it was filmed from actors during at their homes during the coronavirus pandemic.
Oh, it's just them having a bit of a laugh.
It's just them reading the script.
I really wish I had read that. I stopped reading it after I seen the list of people. I was like, oh no.
Well, who did you go with in the end then, Greg?
Zendaya,
Carl's old chestnut.
It's not even that. The attitude she has in it, in Spider-Man and thing, I think she'd pull it off perfectly because she still has a little bit of a mean streak in it too.
Yeah,
that's very true. Very true. What about yourself, Ted?
Yeah, I kind of thought along the same lines. I was like, you need someone who can kind of stand up for themselves. So my first thought was Emma Watson, because obviously in Harry Potter, she's, the way they had her portrayed and that she's always standing up for herself. But then I was like,
Emma Watson is your Zendaya. I'm just going to say this.
But see, I don't actually pick her because I was like, no, she's already a Disney princess, so she can't be used again here. So I was like, no. I also thought Daisy Ridley, I thought, could have done the role quite well.
Okay, yeah, I like Daisy Ridley.
But I went with someone else.
This is the third time Ted's picked Daisy Ridley now too.
No, I didn't pick her
somewhere. Yeah,
I don't think she's ever been picked.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't mention her as
a backup, I think.
I think I've had her as a backup a few times, but I've never actually cast her.
Did you not try and cast her as Uma Thurman?
No, that was I tried to use the woman from Jessica Jones for Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
No, I went with someone I have used before, and I didn't win then, so it might not win now. But Madison Eisman, who was the young blonde girl in the Jungle Book, but not Jungle Book, Jumanji remakes.
Yeah,
like she's kind of the posh girl in that as well, but she learns to stand up for herself, so I thought that worked quite well.
Dora the Explorer, is she?
No,
is she?
no. She's not Dora. No.
I don't even know.
I used her for something previously.
I don't even know what Dora the Explorer actress is. I thought that was just a cartoon. So.
Oh, there's a movie now. Yeah.
She's in Instant Family as well. Actually, a really good actress. I can't think of her name at the moment.
No. I just mixed it up there as to who it was.
Isabella Moner. Yeah, she's really good. My choice here, my backup. I'm surprised she wasn't chosen. Was Margot Robbie.
I thought she was a bit too old.
I think I just used her too much. I was like, I can't keep using her.
But my choice was Zendaya.
Fucking right one.
Of course it was.
Come on, she's this ethereal character in this. It's definitely Zendaya for the win in this one.
You would have put Zendaya anyway. It wouldn't have mattered how where you were going to stick her in somewhere. If she wasn't as the main, you'd have had her as
Zendaya is Prince Humperdinck.
Yeah, you'd have had her somewhere.
I'll stick her somewhere.
I knew I should have put her in, but then I was like, we've used her quite a few times now. I was like,
we haven't. That's the thing. We haven't.
The first name that came to my mind for this.
In fairness, she was as well. I think she suits the role.
Yeah, I think we used her last in the Scream episode as well. Like her name's come up a lot of times.
I'd say it's come up as much as Margot Robbie, and I mention her in every episode.
Yeah,
that's true.
I think I just strayed away from her that time because I was like, I'm trying not to use the same names for everything.
Of course. So, usually when I'm actually picking, I'm not the judge. I'd be the same.
Yeah,
I try not to pick the same people over and over.
It's hard. Some people are just perfect for the role.
Yeah, I genuinely thought Madison Eisman would be really good for this role. Just based on what I have seen her in, I was like, she learns to stand up for herself and stuff like that. I really thought she'd be a good fit for the role as well. And
that's fair. I mean, it's not a bad choice by any means.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my problem with Zendaya was like, even in Spider-Man, I never see her as in distress. Really, like I always feel she's kind of just like
she can do it.
I know she can. I know she can.
She doesn't
but like
really get in distress in this though. Like the only time you see her in distress is when she's in the water.
Oh, when she was about to kill herself. I don't know if I could see Zendaya as being like, I'm gonna kill myself.
I don't.
You haven't seen Euphoria then?
No, I haven't. No.
Euphoria is a TV show, and she's phenomenal in that. But she's a drug addict who tries to kill herself. She's fantastic in that series.
I have not seen that either.
Fair enough.
It's so good. It's so good. I recommend it. So 4-3 going into the last two. Ted, you need to win the next one.
I do, yeah.
Greg will
win the two of them.
He does need to win the two.
I need to win
Actually,
both.
He does, yeah. You need to win both.
Yeah.
Or Greg will get his first defense.
Yeah.
Defense.
This could be tough. This could be tough now.
He didn't manage a defense when he won the championship.
Defense wins championships, lads. I didn't have a good one the last time.
No, you did not. No, this could be a tough one now. I don't know if I'd be. Greg was very confident in certain picks that he had in the chat, so I don't know if I'm going to beat him here on this one.
So we're going to have Indigo Montoya.
Okay, so
Played by Mandy Patinkin.
Yeah.
Extra points if you can give us a little speech.
My name is Indigo Montoya. You killed my father. Now you must die.
Yeah. He just
Prepare to die.
Prepare to
die.
And he just keeps saying it over and over and over.
It's like he's a little robot after he got stabbed.
Yeah. So obviously the Spaniard.
Yes.
So I was kind of trying to think along the lines of, I need to keep it, because they do reference the fact that he's a Spaniard here quite a few times, although he doesn't really have a Spanish accent either.
He tries to when he's on the cliff.
Once or twice he does, but overall he doesn't really. But there's a lot of comedy in this character as well.
Yes.
When he's like, "I'll help you up. Oh no, take a rest. We won't fight just yet. Just hang on.
That's a bit of honor there. Now.
Like it's a bit of a comedy shtick. Where he's talking to, can you be any quicker? Get up the mountain there. So for a backup, I had Antonio Banderas, but I didn't like that because I was like, he's too old for that role.
He's about 80.
I was like,
he's about the same age as Mandy Patinkin now.
Yeah, I was like, I never liked him for the role. I just put him down because he was the first name that came to my head.
I'm generally surprised he wasn't cast when this was made.
Yeah, I don't think I would have preferred him over Manny anyway. But
no, probably not. Well, then again, you watch him in the likes of Desperado and all, you could see it.
This is
we won't talk about that Zorro movie.
Yeah. This one's going to be a little bit out of left field, and I think it's going to rely on Carl having watched something. But Danny Pudi, who was in Community. Yeah, where you can see him be, the charmer. You can see him be kind of quirky and funny, but then in the scenes where they're doing like the paintball and the floor's lava, like he's the hero in those as well. So I think he can hit all the notes that are needed.
He's in Captain America as well.
Yeah, he's one scene in Captain America.
Yeah, he's not really in that.
I don't know. I'm just looking at his IMDb here.
He's in one scene.
Yeah, no, Community's his big thing, really, isn't it?
I haven't seen.
That's all he's really done, really.
He's done some other stuff. He has other stuff, but there's more minor roles. He's done a lot of voice acting as well.
Yeah. What about yourself, Greg?
Can I say I have the same guy that Ted has for the draw?
Well, we have photographic proof of who you do.
We have photographic proof. Well, we can't be doing that now.
Yeah, no. I had
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas' great grandson. No, I went with Pedro Pascal.
Pedro.
The look, everything is just perfect for.
Yeah, I like Pedro there.
The only thing I will say is probably a little bit smaller in stature than. Now, that I might be completely wrong with that, but like he's a little bit smaller.
Pedro's quite tall.
Is he? He doesn't look it in the Mandalorian or anything.
He's about the same size as Mandy Patinkin. Anyway, he's not a huge man himself.
Yeah, Manny's not hugely tall either.
I'm looking forward to seeing him now in The Last of Us.
Yes.
How he does in that.
Yes. That's true. I had two for this one myself. My backup, I chose Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, someone I had thought of as well at one point.
Everybody, once you get into that kind of Hispanic kind of thing, you're like, who's a good actor from there?
True. Yeah.
Same names keep popping up.
It's true. But I went with Pedro Pascal myself.
Yeah. See, I was thinking that, and then I was just like, I just want to move a little bit away from some of the people we have used. And I was trying to think who would be, and I was kind of thinking, like, they keep referencing him as the Spaniard, but at no point is he really a Spaniard in this entire film.
Have we used Pedro Pascal before?
Yeah,
he's been attempted to cast twice, but didn't get picked.
No, I think we did use him where in one where we all had him.
Also, I have to say, another Game of Thrones actor, by the way.
Yeah. You boys just went to Game of Thrones. He's just everything.
Pedro Pascal was he?
Yep.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He's in the first season. Yeah.
Also, never watched Game of Thrones, so
I know. Yeah, you boys have been binging Game of Thrones there.
Never watched it.
Yeah, no, I knew Danny Pudi was going to be a bit of a risky one. I just felt that what he shows in Community, and it does depend if you've seen it or not, but he shows that he can hit all of those markers.
I love Community.
Yeah, like the way he can be that quirky kind of, I'll help you.
Netflix?
I don't know.
I don't think it used to be.
It used to be. It sometimes is and sometimes isn't. So I don't know if it's there at the moment.
Yeah.
I'll try and get into
Um,
it at some stage.
It's very good if you haven't seen it.
The first 3 seasons, anyway.
Yeah, the first 3 are really strong. The rest of it's not bad. It's just not as strong as the first 3.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with Pedro Pascal there. I think he definitely nailed that role. So congratulations, Greg.
Hashtag
You are
and still.
you're still champion. We're gonna move on. We'll still
We'll
finish it off.
Finish it out anyway.
We'll finish it off and see how it ends up. So the main star, let's say, Wesley, played by Carrell.
What a man.
Greg, what way did you go here?
So having cast Zendaya, well, I had Sophie Turner on it, and then having read that thing, but I didn't read fully. I had cast Dan Stevens, who played the Beast.
Okay, yeah.
Beauty and the Beast. But after reading that she was cast, I was like, no, better not, because Zendaya is only like 24, 23 or something. So I changed it.
Too much.
Well, yeah, I know it doesn't really matter, but you know, nowadays people try to get fucking movies cancelled for everything. Do you know what I mean? Even though she's being illegal at it, but I went with her actual love interest. I went with Tom Holland.
Okay.
I think the chemistry works. You know what I mean?
Tom Holland. Alrighty. Yeah. And Ted.
Yeah, I went with someone we have used before. I went a little bit different. I went to Stranger Things and used Joe Keery, who I think would be quite good as the pretty boy farmhand that's there, but also kind of a bit of a nerdy aloofness to him as well.
Okay. I had 2 choices here myself.
Is it both of them?
No, it's not. And lads, we almost did it. God damn it, Ted. We almost did it. We almost went through an entire thing without using a Stranger Things cast member.
I know, but I just thought I was thinking about him, and I was thinking about the role, and I was like, I think he just fits really, really well. We didn't use anybody. We didn't use anybody from Cobra Kai. If that's something.
We've done a couple of shows without that.
I had thought about putting Tanner Buchanan in though.
My first choice for this, or one of my backup, was Henry Golding.
Oh yeah.
You know, I could see him doing this role quite well. But the one I had gone with was Taron Egerton.
Yeah, I had thought about it. I was like, once I went kind of age-wise and thing, I was like, no, maybe not.
Yeah.
I kind of tried to keep it somewhat similar in age.
Yeah. But I'll have to go with Joe Keery here.
Yeah.
Over Tom Holland.
Yeah, I'd have went the same.
I think I looked at Tom Holland as well, and kind of was just like, I don't know if he fits that role.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he does. I like Tom Holland a lot.
Really, I went just with their chemistry that he could pull it off.
I love Tom Holland, but I was just kind of like, I don't know if he. Maybe if I'd picked Zendaya, I would have thought more along that. But I was just like, I don't think he fits that role particularly well.
As I said, I had Dan Stevens and Sophie Turner in there originally, but
I think I thought of Sophie Turner, but then pretty much just went away from her quite quickly as well. I was like, I don't know if she's the Disney princess either.
It's true.
Is Buttercup really a Disney princess? I know it's a Disney movie, but
in a way she is, like she's kind of the damsel in distress. She's been forced to marry the evil baddie, and her love interest has to come and save her. That's pretty much a Disney princess.
Oh, yeah, but I don't know if she'd actually count as a Disney princess though.
Well, I don't think she does. But still, technically,
other than talking to animals, she pretty much does.
Well, you know how Disney are.
So, and you're a winner, and still champion, Greg. Congratulations! You move on to face me again.
Finally.
And Ted, have you gotten the movie we have to do?
I do. A big one here. Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore. A nice strong one with quite a strong cast in it as well.
Recasting Adam Sandler is going to be a bitch.
No, it's not. Adam Sandler plays Adam Sandler. No, I even have a better one than Adam Sandler. Rob Schneider plays Adam Sandler. Rated
Adam Sand-
PG-13.
Adam Sandler plays Rob Schneider playing Adam Sandler. Yeah, no, I went with this. I was like, there's not, we don't really need, like, we've kind of tried to steer away some from teenager ones, like young,
Yes.
quite young cast. So I was like, this is a good one to steer away from that. But also, you know, there's still quite a lot of people you could cast into quite a lot of the roles as well. So it should be kind of similar to this in that I don't expect there to be too many
Draws.
like cross, you know, the same people having the same people as their main picks.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, pretty cool. So, Happy Gilmore will be up next. We will have that show out in 2 weeks. Hope you all enjoyed this show. Don't forget to vote on the polls that'll be coming out quite soon. Until then,
Good luck.